Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome to the Forge Coffee Break. This is episode number 9 of our Forge Coffee Break. And this is a very open space for Forge questions, discussions, anything goes. We also present a few things that are going on within our team. Today here I have with me Jaime, Dennis, and Adam. They're all from the Forge Advocates team. And I have Winston also from Autodesk, and sorry to bring you to the spot. As I said, this is an open space for open questions, and if you have anything, just raise your hand, open your microphone, and ask away.
So maybe let's hear a bit from the Reconstruct guys. How's it going?
As we have two of them here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going good. I guess a brief introduction for us is how we use Forge. Our platform is merging BIM, schedule, and point clouds. So we rely on the Forge viewer, especially for the BIM part. There's not much to say, I guess, that we use Forge. We like it, and we're always interested in learning more.
Great.
How long have you been using Forge?
Since the beginning, probably since 2016.
Oh wow, cool. Yeah, the Reconstruct name actually rings a bell. So definitely, I think I've seen you guys around for quite some time. And are you joining us for AU this year? Any classes that caught your eye or anything like that?
I'm actually not sure if we're going to be in AU, but we'll probably at least participate in it. We'll probably be part of it.
Yeah, I believe I've signed up for all of the days of AU, and then another person on my team is also going to be joining.
Oh, nice. Okay. So Augusto's showing you right now like some list of some events not to miss that the Forge Advocate teams is going to be running.
Yeah, and those are before the AU actually. The ones I'm listing here before AU. We have a good lineup of events coming up before the event itself, right? At AU there is a lot of classes and other things, and let me. As this I think the hot topic for now, the AU coming. Before AU, we're having this bootcamp training that is happening on the week of 19, 2 weeks from now. That's quite interesting if you haven't played the Forge yet and you just want to get a very basic understanding or get started with Forge. And on each day we have sessions during the day, and here for Pacific time zone. It's like 8 a.m. we show you a topic and then give you some time to complete that topic. Come back, I think 10 a.m. for the second piece, and then 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. So we can show you how to do it, give you some time to complete, and then you come back. It's very interesting if you want to do the training and do the rest of your business during the day, so you have time to do both, right? And after that, the week before you, we were having a hackathon. That's new. We haven't done this before, a hackathon. And let me bring Jaime into the spot. Jaime is the one leading most of the hackathon.
Yep. So we are going to have Forge Hackathon. And what this is, it's basically an opportunity for you to kind of get a chance to work on maybe some idea that you may have using the platform, something that could be like completely outside of your scope of work. It's more about you have interacted with the platform, you know what you like, you know what you can do with it, and at the same time also kind of like just expand a little bit more on it. We have 5 challenges, and we are announcing them before actually the hackathon starts because we want to get your mind kind of like starting to think about what can you do in order to solve some of these challenges. Itself, like we will be judging based on, let's say, innovation, that wow factor of basically just seeing really cool apps. And at the same time, you're going to have a chance to win prizes. And they're actually really cool prizes. So definitely, I think for a week of work that you can dedicate some time of it, it can be at the same time outside of your work hours. Um, you always are going to have someone from my team being able to help you out with this kind of event itself. So any questions that you may have about the uses of the platform, any kind of like crazy workflows that you want to test out or try, definitely give it a shot. The event itself for registration will go live later on today, I believe, and we will also be giving away some swag to those first 100 registrations. So I'll say definitely sign up, join us. We're gonna have a lot of fun that week, and yeah, any questions also please feel free to ask.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I misspoke. Me and another coworker will be joining that the week of classes before AU. So looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The boot camp, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, excellent.
You should think about a team also. Like
Yeah.
it can be a four. We have a limit of 4 people team, like 4-person team, in order to participate in the hackathon. And you never know, you might actually come out with something really cool that the judges will like, and then you'll get a cool prize delivered to your house.
Cool.
Not to mention the showcase that is happening at AU, right? So that will be the winners will get the prize, which is cool, but also having a lot of exposure at AU for Autodesk customers. So if you have any idea that you want to expose to customers and get attention, that's the way to go, right? AU, it's the major event by Autodesk for developers and for customers, especially for customers. So this showcase will be like a marketing tool, if you will. And thank you, Jaime. Yeah, that's quite interesting. Let me go back to you. I mean, you have any questions, any points that you'd like to bring up? Daniel, Winston.
Colt, and we have someone else also join, Michelangelo.
Hi, everyone.
How's it going?
Good. How is everyone? Sorry, I joined late, so I'm just lurking in the background.
Don't worry about it.
Come and go as you wish.
Yeah. Any questions that you may have, or something that you found interesting about it, or you can tell us a little bit about what you're working on.
Yeah. I just sort of got to in at the end as you were talking about this, and I always like the sound of hackathons, so
it's free
fun.
prizes. It's good excuse for you to test out stuff that you're not able to actually do during your work hours. So definitely, we've been running these events, accelerators, for quite some time already, and in a virtual mode since everything started with COVID and all that. We started running them like that since March. Actually, the March one was an on-site one that got canceled and had to be forced and transition into a virtual mode. But so far, we're doing actually pretty good. We handle everything through Slack. So, and this is the same kind of format that we're going to be using on the hackathon. Each team is going to have their own dedicated channel. The people in those channels are going to be the team plus all the Autodesk resources. So we're going to have a lot of engineers and from different kind of teams as well from Autodesk in order to help you out with that kind of development. And at the end of the week, demo day comes in. Judges will pick the winners during the weekend. And then if you are one of the selected winners, you get to showcase everything during the AU event. Plus you get a prize too, which are prizes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
very cool.
Yeah. What else is happening? I think that there is something that was new this last few weeks about the viewer. I was just opening a few blog posts. I think this one here is quite relevant about viewer analytics. If you're using the viewer, that will start happening version 7.29. And it doesn't really affect anyone on the way that the performance or anything, but it's really important for Autodesk to have that kind of information. So yeah, if you're using the viewer, that's a good blog to review and take a look at this one. And I always like to point out good articles that we have. I was going to ask Peter to join us today, but I think he has some appointment. But he's always doing some interesting research with viewer. Well, Peter was part of the team that developed the viewer at first place, right? So he has this very good perspective inside the viewer and how it works. So this is interesting, showing how to connect the views, but also how to add elements. It's kind of foundation for most of the IoT issues, placement, markups kind of applications. So yeah, quite interesting, right? You have that 2D view to understand where you are, but then you also see the 3D view on the side, so you can understand how that behaves in 3D volumes. It's always interesting to see what he's doing. I like this post, and it's usually very well written. Shame he's not here today to explain to us, but if this is a topic that you work with, go for this blog post. All right, I'm talking for a long time now. Let me go back to you.
I had a quick question about that, actually, Augusto. Is there like a GitHub repo for this kind of as a starting point? Because as you said, I feel like it's a common place for a lot of customers to start, and it looks really awesome that sort of all of this is plugged together already.
Yeah, so most of the blog posts we have are related to some code or some sample or some other place that we try. We try to make most of our samples, most of our code in public. They are using public APIs, so they are public. And something like this at the end of the blog post, there should be a link to a Git. In some cases, there is a big sample. Some cases, there is a sample with a lot of small pieces. And in this case, that's the case, right? We have a sample with small pieces, and this specific piece, this specific file is looking at this specific feature. We have another one. We have around other things is the Forge extensions sample with a lot of individual pieces that you can use to create applications. And these extensions are really based on customer demand, right? As we see those demands coming up, we try to create extensions that you can reuse, and those are very isolated pieces of code that you can use on your application. Just like what Peter was working in here.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
He did also the viewer in viewer, the point cloud extension, so you can see a point cloud flying around the building.
The point cloud is new. I haven't seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, point cloud is always challenging, right? But you can always create an extension for it. You can use it as is in here, or grab the code and extend on top of that, or change on top of that. Some of those extensions actually came from Dennis, the first version. Thank you, Dennis. What we did here was just to really isolate them and make them load and unload so you can just reuse them. But yeah, some of those came from Dennis. Well done. Cool. Any other questions?
What else?
Or topics? You are often unusually quiet today.
What coffee are you drinking today?
Probably that's
I actually had a question.
That's the problem, missing coffee. Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, go for it.
For the sheets and the 3D models for that blog post that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know the details here, and I'm not sure if you do either. But in this case, did they process the drawing, or the 2D drawing and the 3D model using model derivative, and they're auto aligned in model derivative, or was it aligned afterwards? So how did they get the transformation from 2D to 3D?
Yeah, so in this case, the drawings are coming from Revit. So as you have a Revit file, that file contains 2D and 3D views. right?
Gotcha. I see.
So one Revit file will have at least one 3D view, and can have multiple 2D sheets or 2D views on that drawing. The number of 2D views may change, the 3D as well, but you may have 0 2D sheets. I'm just giving you some background, right? With that, assuming all of that, those views are interconnected because they are coming from the same model, so you can map the IDs between them.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, thanks for the clarification. Makes sense.
The challenge about coordinates, though, that's a different problem, right? Coordinates are tricky because if you look at this drawing here on the left, it's a 2D sheet, but you are looking at one piece of paper with two views of the same 2D model. So there is no easy way to map them. So that's one of the things that Petra is working here, because you need to find an element to map between one and the other. And I believe here he's using the AEC information, which is the AEC data from that drawing, that gives you more information about how the model was created for Revit. And this is very specific to Revit and how to position them. And if you keep scrolling, you see that he's using this AEC thing and using some features on this AEC class, right, to do the mapping between the elements. So
yeah,
scale.
a prerequisite step for this one is yet another sample and another blog post. When you actually select an element on 2D sheet, and it automatically selects on a 3D model. And this is actually the ingredient that is needed in order to kind of understand how to map between the 2D and 3D. In the background, it's basically what it does. It selects one and then another one, see the coordinates, and then each time when you are clicking somewhere, this offset is transferred to this one. So you need a point of reference. So it's kind of, the algorithm is simple. It's a workaround, but still the logic is quite simple and interesting.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah. And there is the blog post from Petra right here, and the extension that I mentioned, the viewer extension. So if you click on this information sign, there is how it works and the learn more link, right? Just open it up and you should see the source code and instructions on how to use it. So that's how to sync between 2D and 3D. That's one of the steps you have to do. The second step, once you map them, you still map the position between them, as Dennis was mentioning.
And then to cover the question that you asked about if it was two translations, it's actually only one through the model derivative. Like Augusto mentioned, basically the Revit file itself, you translate it once and it comes in with all the available views that this may have, 3D, 2D, and so on.
I see. Yeah, thanks.
All right. So what else is new?
Maybe we can talk about that new loading logo.
Yeah, that is
What loading logo?
when you load the new
It
model.
looks so cool. I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, but how to get rid of it?
We can.
So this logo is now part of the viewer, and well, this is actually quite important for us and for the community, right? We had this constant feedback from customers to understand how this viewer is being supported by the industry, and it's important that Autodesk is the brand behind it. So your customers using the viewer will understand how it works, and that Autodesk is supporting the technology. And also important for customers that they know that all the applications using the viewer will have the same support and same set of features that Autodesk is backing up. The same happens when you open a desktop application and you know the brand behind it, and that brand is the one that you can trust, and that the customer can trust, and the customer understands how important that is. So that's why this feature was added as a feedback from many of our customers. And this is happening on the viewer.
version
not breaking.
7.29 too, right?
Yeah, this is not breaking your application. There is no performance cost or anything that will change on your application. So no, it's a win-win in most cases. And if you have any questions, or if you'd like to give us feedback about this feature, we are always welcome to listen from you, to hear from you. So yeah, send us a message explaining if you have any concerns. But no, so far so good. It's moving well, and it's a very relevant feature for the viewer.
The way that I see it, it's, for example, whenever you're doing some sort of web page and you want to rely on some, like, let's say, mapping functionality, something like Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
If I use Google Maps and I don't, Google Maps, I think, also adds some kind of watermark, right? Whenever you're
Yes.
using Google Maps itself.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't know, like it's a personal thing, I guess. If I'm gonna be linking something into a map, what do you guys use as often? I rather use this than any other third party, I guess, in order to
The same
display
deal,
that kind
right?
of content. Yeah.
Yeah, you understand that Google is backing up the information. It is the same information you have on your phone, you have on your GPS application you have. So it's important for the customer to understand where the data is coming from, or sorry, not where the data, who is backing up the information, and ensuring that the information is accurate. The data is coming from the customer, from the file, right? We are just translating and making sure that whatever is in the browser is accurate and precise. And same for Google, same for Bing, etc. You see this powered by, etc. Coming up in different applications.
Yeah, it's interesting that the main source of confusion for this new logo is that with it takes longer to load. And yesterday I had a discussion about that, like, how can I read all that? Why? Because it's taking too long. Okay, let's switch to version 25 with this logo. Let's time it. It's exactly the same. Yeah, but if you see that it's spinning, it's give you the sense that it's taking too long.
We used to have 3 dots, right?
Yeah, the three dots thing. Yeah.
3 dots. Yeah.
It's the same thing, yeah. And it's interesting. I was looking at one customer application the other day, the day before yesterday, actually, and they had an loading overlay on top of ours. So actually, it doesn't affect anything. The viewer loading, spinning, and the application loading layer are just overlaying. Doesn't affect anything because they are just showing a progress bar or of that kind of some sort. So it doesn't affect the loading time or doesn't affect the performance. This is a very basic CSS. So yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. A while ago, we had a blog post around how to change this kind of loading.
Yeah, me.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't apply anymore, and
Okay.
I probably have to add a note on that blog. So let me Forge viewer loading spinner. So for full disclosure, right? So what I showed on this it's not that old, right? 2 years. Oh, it is too old. For web, it's too old. Essentially,
It's so cute.
yeah, it's so cute, right? I think that was the time I was getting married, so that's pretty good. So basically, the 3 dots are CSS things, and as this is a web page, you can simply replace the CSS. So this is the new CSS you have to do, and how to replace the CSS. It works well. It doesn't work anymore because of the new CSS we have, and again, it's describing here that this is changing an existing CSS, therefore is not a supported feature. So like supported in a way that is documented and will not change. And that's why and if you have a new application that is just replacing existing CSS, the application will not break. In this case, will just not work and just not show the new spinner. But yeah, a good point. I will add a note here saying now with version 7.28, this doesn't work anymore. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Dennis.
Any other final questions they might have? I think at 11:30 is when we stop, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, 8:30 for you, sorry.
8:30, yeah. Well, it's time for my second coffee, so I need...
Yeah, I'm almost done with mine, so definitely.
I need to get my first coffee, so I'm gonna drop off a couple minutes early. But
Go for it.
it was awesome to see all the stuff. I always, every time I talk to you, there's something new, some new awesome Forge link that I have to like dive into. So thanks for that.
That's
Looks
cool.
awesome.
And I'll say stay like just stay pending, I guess, until the announcement for the hackathon. I would like to see at some point one like a team that you form or anything like that. Like I said, I don't want to announce the prices yet, but they're cool. You will enjoy them for sure.
It wouldn't be about the prizes for me. It would be about playing in the code.
Oh yeah,
Because I never get to do that.
There you go. So yeah, you can stay up late if you're a night owl. We will have someone in the team supporting you at any time. So that's
Awesome.
one of the cool things of the virtual event.
Yeah, it's 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
stay tuned for that. Yeah, thank you, Michelangelo.
Okay.
Thank you, Jaime. And the next coffee
everyone.
break, yeah, the next coffee break is happening on October 21st. That will actually coincide with the week of the bootcamp training. So maybe some of you who are attending the training may not be able to attend the coffee break, but well, we'll be here anyway with more news and exciting discussions. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.